Thanks for joining us. This is Greg, usually of Teslafaninsight, but today is the first of what will be a show devoted to the budding Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift romance. So if you're here for a Tesla show, I apologize. We're doing a test show or two prior to creating a channel exclusively for our Hollywood Insights. So what I wanted to cover today is the fact that, yes, the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce romance is actually seems to be going quite well and seems to be quite strong. I wanted to introduce a few ideas primarily borrowed from a guy named Kevin Samuels about where we are in this relationship. And so, as you note, I did include the fact that Travis's process is kind of a violation of the code. And so that code, as articulated by Kevin Samuel, is a rather long one. And so I'm just going to cover basically 4 points today. The first item I wanted to cover is the fact that Travis has a challenge. And what that challenge is with Taylor Swift is the fact that Travis is what's called a high value man. And so what is a high value man? Well, it turns out that folks that make as much money as he does and has as many people taking their shot at him, sort of gives it away in terms of what one would define as a high value man. But the first violation in the process is high value men don't cheat. They exercise options. So for men who are not high value, if you will, step out on their girlfriends or wives, etc., that's actually called cheating. But once you're a high value man, again, that's not cheating. That's called exercising your options. So the question that comes up, and one of the reasons why I think Taylor is somewhat in a violation mode here, is that Travis is in a process right now where, yes, he's executing everything that would suggest that this is about to become a very fairy tale marriage/wedding. But he also has this other problem, which is that he's been going on, I guess, Instagram, perhaps OnlyFans, etc. So he's been doing a lot of sites. And he's a connoisseur of gorgeous women. Nothing wrong with it. I think it's cool. The challenge, though, is that if you have all of those options hitting you, what are you going to do? Will he exercise his option A, or B, stay locked and loaded on Taylor Swift? The answer to it, I don't know, but it's a huge question that's sitting on this relationship. And we should also note that with as much money as he has, and the willingness of former girlfriends and almost girlfriends to revisit to try to knock him out before he gets married, that could also be a variable in how all this is going to work out as well. The second note I wanted to make, and this more relates to Taylor Swift than to Travis, is that most men that are high value tend to select women who are kind of mid to late 20s, particularly given that he's 33 years old. And the reason is that there are many reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is any pregnancy above 35 is considered high risk. So a lot of you fans are thinking, oh wow, she's really moving fast. She's very focused on making this happen, short and long term. And he's also including conversations in that regard. Well, the challenge, though, is that he doesn't have the time clock issues that Taylor has. But I think one thing that might sort of get him to give up his rights as a high value man is the fact that he really wants to have a family and seems to really enjoy being exposed to the kids of his brother. And so therefore, this is one good reason why he may give up sort of the bachelor good life as a high value male that gives him huge numbers of options. The third pointer as to why I think this is a violation is that you'll recall that Travis dated someone for 6 years, kind of on and off. And so the question that comes up is, well, what exactly does that mean? And evidently an ex perceives it as him having cheated on her with another person or something of that ilk. But if you're on the sort of high value man rotation, again, the girlfriend thought it was cheating, but Travis thought the relationship was kind of on again, off again, and so therefore not a cheating sort of in a relationship situation. So the bottom line here, so we could go on with other examples why this might be a rule violation for Taylor, because she seems really all in. And one of the things that's always fascinating in a relationship is that there are two people in any relationship, and one way it was articulated to me is that 1 + 1 = 1 + 1 + 2, or 1 + 1 = 1 + 1. One of the things that's going to happen is that we're going to get through the honeymoon phase, and then we're going to get on to, okay, what is the real party looking at or looking like? So the final sort of violation, which I'd like to bring up today, is what will happen with the new P syndrome. If you want to know what I mean, there's a guy named Tretch who was part of a group, and he has a song called OPP. And you might want to take a listen to it as we finish off our topics for today in this space. So the first thing that's out there is that there are certain high value men that really value sort of variety, change, new versus old. And so the question that comes up is the situation, and so therefore, we're definitely in the honeymoon phase. And the question that happens is, after we're in that almost 6-month zone and the honeymoon phase has worn off, how does that feel? That's a different answer to how he's doing life versus how he has been doing it. And the question mark is, what will he do once he arrives at that point? Will he take a look at some of the options that have been presented based on who he's dating? Will he go for the, if you will, low value man analysis and embrace, hey, one great relationship or not? The answer is, we don't know the answer to that yet. And I'm hoping it's what it looks like, but we still have to figure out, how does he feel about sticking it out with one person? The other issue that comes up here that Kevin Samuels often talks about is just the fact that when you have, let's say, a high value woman like Taylor Swift, one of the challenges is, look at the schedules. So the final thing that I'd like to introduce, which is not necessarily a principle of Kevin Samuel, but that plays here, is that there are certain people that are designed to be terrific girlfriends, but they really don't work as wives. And then again, there are certain people that are designed to be great boyfriends and not great husbands, or vice versa, where they might be great husband potential, but not that great as a boyfriend. So can one figure this out and bridge the gap and be successful on both fronts? I think that's entirely possible. One of the questions that comes up, though, is that for great girlfriends, they tend to be around all the time and ready to support the team. And if you have a big career, it's hard to step off that ship and get back to and be, a superstar more in that girlfriend space than you are moving in that wife space. So I suppose this is kind of a question for Taylor about whether or not she might embrace that role as a great wife candidate rather than just great girlfriend. So, at any rate, I look forward to your response to this, because when you really scratch the surface of what's been going on, Travis has really been doing the boyfriend routine really great. multiple girlfriends, nationwide, perhaps worldwide search for girlfriends and people to hang out with that are gorgeous, maybe not necessarily looking at the potential motherly qualities, etc., that husband types might look for, but you're optimizing, if you will, the party or girlfriend aspects of people that you might be dating. So thus far, from what I've seen, Travis has done a good job of sticking it out and demonstrating what I think are really great boyfriend attributes, but attributes particularly relative to family that suggest he's really making an effort to do everything he can to sort of lock in this space and make that path run towards a serious relationship. And the open question is, like I said, what happens when there are people now shooting at him that didn't have, that weren't at the level that the new potential candidates are sitting at? What happens when the separation becomes extended based on the fact that they're both busy at work, etc. And so therefore, that leaves room for someone to come off the bench in a relief role if things are good, but not in the same domicile or location. So stay tuned. We have other question marks that are going on. Part of the whole thing for me has been, I've had fun watching all of this going on. I'm going to finish up today. I'm in Greater Washington, D.C., and we're at one of the waterways. So I'm going to kind of finish up today with the fact that it is fun to watch the development of this romance, and I think it's a good thing, and I want to see him successful. But there are certain Kevin Samuel discipline violations that one might want to consider that will affect how this all plays out. And we shall see what happens. But right now, I kind of feel bad for Travis, because where were all these people that are showing up currently when he did not have a committed relationship that he's trying to build? And can he resist the side piece temptation? Because now that he's dating Taylor, it's put him in a whole new list or space of demand than he was before. And the new temptations might be too tempting, or he may fight hard and be able to fight those temptations off. I'm rooting for him, but this is a different animal and challenge than he's ever had. And we shall see what happens as this moves forward. At any rate, this is Greg, typically from Teslafaninsight, but today we're doing a special on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and we look forward to your comments on this. I reference you to Kevin Samuels on YouTube. He has passed away, but he has a ton of videos that explains everything I just described for you. And it's really hard for high-value men like Travis Kelce, because the options are so great. Look forward to your comments. Have a great day, and bye for now.